What's up, VC? Your boy, D Washington 607, back here for another video. I hope all you guys are doing well. It's a little cloudy here in New York City, but hey, at least it's been in the 80s, a little more sun than usual, set all the rain. So I'm going to get started with another trip through my archives, and I hope you guys enjoy it. First, I'm going to start with this great compilation here. Blue Haze, the songs of Jimi Hendrix. This is a very good compilation. Some great artists on here doing some great tribute to Jimi Hendrix, more in the kind of like, I guess, bluesy kind of style. You've got everyone from Taj Mahal, Eric Burton, Walter Trout, who I showed on my channel. Who else we have? Bernard Allison, Eric Beard, Papa Chubby, Buddy Miles and Double Trouble, Vernon Reid, Michelle Sharp. This is just a fantastic compilation. It really puts Jimmy's music in another perspective, using a lot of blues, electric guitar. So this is definitely something I think you guys should definitely pick up. Blue Haze, the songs of Jimi Hendrix. Here's another compilation I like. Black and White Blues. This is a 2 CD set, and it's got a lot of great artists on there. Roy Gallagher, Con Heat, Muddy Waters, Joe Turner, Mick Jagger of all people. I didn't see that one there, and he's very good. It's a very good compilation. I'm not sure what label this is on, the Seagull label. I've never heard. I just kind of picked this up in a bin years ago, but it's very good. So Black and White Blues. Up next, this is Stan Getz, The Best of Two Worlds. I guess you can describe this as more like it was released in, I think, in 1976. It's kind of like a reunion of sorts between João Gilberto and Stan Getz, like the Getz Gilberto album, and it was arranged by Oscar Carlos Neves, who's really famous in Brazil for producing a lot of that type of music, the Brazilian music. But I think what's mostly surprised me is that when this came out, it was kind of time when disco and fusion was coming, so it kind of got pushed aside and get a lot of attention, which it should have. It was very good. The thing that kind of surprised me was some of the artists they had on here backing up Getz and Gilberto. Billy Hart, Steve Swallow, Grady Tate, Airto, great percussionist. And I believe the story was after Gilberto wasn't asked to attend this particular recording session, and she said later that she wouldn't have attended if they had asked her, because she had kind of gotten past that, and she kind of wanted to do her own kind of thing. But it still is a very good listen here. So this is Stan Getz, The Best of Two Worlds. Very good. Up next, this is Fender Rhodes player Mark Kerry Rhodes Ahead. I would describe this as kind of like an imaginative, atmospheric drum and bass jazz, and it's dedicated to Harold Rhodes, who I guess was the granddad who invented the Fender Rhodes. And like, I think Kerry has a lot of ways that he has a lot of lush backdrops that vary from drum and bass and heavy jazz, funky. It has a real funky element on it and stuff, and it's really really good. It reminds me a little bit of something like the kind of I don't know, I guess you probably the Herbie Hancock type of style. Probably a lot of edgy stuff there, but it's really good. I know he has a volume 2 of this, which I've yet to get, and I hope to get it someday. But that's Mark Kerry Rhodes Ahead. Just good. Up next, I have the one and only Miss Sinead OConnor. This is Faith and Courage. Yeah, I think this is her 5th studio album, and it has a lot of different kind of emotional layers to it. Lonely, she sounds afraid, she's fiercely confident. It's kind of like a spiritual album. There's moments of like kind of bitterness and anger and sadness and stuff like that. But I really like this album. Didn't get a lot of play, but I really think it's one worth listening if you like Sinead OConnor. So definitely, it's one to get played. Up next, this is Andy Summers, Peggy's Blue Skylight. Andy Summers, guitarist for the Police. This is his tribute to Charles Mingus. I know we had another one. We did another tribute, I think, to I think it was who was it? I think it was Thelonious Monk, Green Chimneys. I have that also. It's kind of has like elements of classical, traditional jazz, and even hip hop, because he has everyone here from Q-Tip, Randy Brecker, to Deborah Harry, to the Cornell's Quartet, which played with Steve Wright a lot. So it's definitely something that I really like listening to. So this is Andy Summers, Peggy's Blue Skylight, really good. This one I really like. This is a group called Virtue, and if you can see, this is a group that's made up of Stanley Clark, Lenny White, Rachel Z, Karen Briggs, who plays the violin, and Richie Kotzen. I think when I did research on it, Richie Kotzen was once the guitar player for the band Poison. Remember Poison? I was like, what? But actually, this is really good. They tackle straight ahead jazz, fusion, post bop to world beats. There's some classical tinge with rock and stuff. And I was like, what? But this is really good. I'll show you guys like the picture there, and you can see some of the guys right there. But it's like really good. It's got a lot of different elements on there. Stuff very electric, classical, fusiony. But definitely, this is Virtue. It's a good. I think there's another picture in here, guys. Yeah, you can see them. Better thing of the guys right there. I've shown Rachel Z on my channel before, and you can see some of the other guys. This is really good stuff. So, Virtue, if you want to check that out. This is another one. This is what's his name? What's his name? Hold on a second, guys. I keep forgetting his name. Oh, this is Tim. This is Tim Hagen's Animation Imagination. Tim Hagen is a trumpet player. He was mostly known for doing a lot of big band era musician, but he decided to do like, it's I guess like a tribute to 1970s Electric Miles, and he probably plays a little bit higher. No one beats Miles. He just takes it another level because this isn't his usual style of music and stuff. And like the thing I like, it has a lot of tonal fulfillment. It's got smeary electronics just all over the place and stuff. A lot of like even like beats, like sample beats, and a lot of heavy guitar and stuff. It has a real kind of, I don't know, more colored than like bop stuff, and it's just really spectacular and electric. And I think he also has he has Kurt Rosenwinkel, who's a great guitar player, and DJ Smash and stuff. But it's really good. He's a great trumpet player. So this is Tim Hagen's Animation Imagination, and I love that cover there. It's really excellent. This is who's this? This is Hector. I always have problems saying his name. Martagan, The Foreign Affair. He's a classically trained musician. He was born in Colombia, and he played with Mongo Santa Maria, Ray Barreto. So it's like it's mostly like a lot of Latin, classical, traditional jazz and stuff. Some of them are like original compositions. He has Don Byron, Randy Brecker, Ruben Blades on here. I'm sorry about the glare, guys. But yeah, but he's really good. I don't see him mentioned a lot here. So this is Hector Martagan, The Foreign Affair. Great stuff. And of course, you gotta throw some blues in here. We have The Great Showdown here with Johnny Copeland, Robert Cray, and Albert Collins. Just as, like, to me, it's just a kind of a cutting contest between these guys. Of course, unfortunately, Johnny and Albert are no longer with us. Robert is still around doing great music. There's great blues, electric, just awesome stuff. So you definitely have to have Showdown. You have to have some blues in there, Getting back, this is Frank Emilio and Ancestral Reflections. I think he's 80 now. I think he was 78, old pianist. He kind of embodies the Cuban sound and stuff, history. He likes to embrace the island's culture, intricate from like formal dance since like the 1920s and stuff. So mostly it's Afro-Cuban jazz orchestra with jazz and flute. He even has a string section. It has some percussion and some voices, but it's really good traditional stuff with just a lot of different layers to the traditional Cuban jazz scene and stuff. So Frank Emilio, he's really good. You can see him right there at the piano and stuff. This is another guy like John Gentry Tennyson, Europa. It's mostly like jazz classical. He's like a classical piano player, and like I think this was mostly made when he went to visit a friend of his in Monte Carlo, and he saw this piano, and he just started making these compositions and doing a lot of solo piano and stuff. So I don't know, to me it sounds like something you would hear at, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like a foreign film score or something of that nature. And it has a lot of rhythmic moments when he like plays on there. When I look at this, I'm thinking of like something that that my brother Carm or maybe Dave, Culture fan, would be into, or maybe Chris, who has a lot of great piano stuff. So definitely, so this is John Gentry tennis and Europa. It's very good, and this is on the Angel label. Really, really good stuff. And this one I really like. This is Swanee Beyond Skin. He's on he's like a British guy that was born in India, moved to Great Britain. It has a lot of Indian elements. It has elements of classical music with some drum and jazz, hip hop. A lot of kind of like, I don't know, I guess kind of like vocal elements to it, but it's really good, and I love that cover right there, Swanee Beyond Skin. It's like really, really good. So many different elements to that, especially using the things of like I don't know, I guess using like Indian sounds and stuff with a lot of electronica and classical and hip hop. It's just all in there. So definitely, this is, I think I've shown it before. This is Marisa Monte. This is Rose and Charcoal, Brazilian pop singer, and she likes to push the traditional and get it to a little bit of a poppy sound. But also, I think what's even more special is like some of the people that she has on here: Laurie Anderson, Philip Glass, and Gilberto Gil. So she just pushes this to another level when you're listening to that sort of stuff, Brazilian pop, pushing it to more of a sounding of today and mixing the traditional. Oh, this is Michelle Camilo, and I'm gonna butcher his name, Tomatito. It's like he's a flamenco guitar player, and Michelle Camilo, fantastically classically trained piano player. But to me, what I would like about this is his piano playing between, like, it's like a poetry session. Like, they just have a lot of counterpoints where they play off of each other, mixing just piano and flamenco guitar. You can see they do a version of Chicory of Spain that's really, really good. I like that. So now I have one of my favorites, Jameelah, John McLaughlin, and Paco de Lucia, Friday Night in San Francisco. I'm sure everybody has this, and this is a jazz masterpiece with 3 fantastic guitar masters. I know that Paco is no longer with us. I think he passed, I don't know if it was last year or a few years ago, live in San Francisco. Just seeing these guys just play this type of music live. To me, this was the original MTV Unplugged. That's where they stole it from, as far as I'm concerned. But definitely something you should have in your collection. This is another compilation. This is As Long As You're Living, the music of Keith Jarrett. This was mostly like a tribute to Keith Jarrett. And there's so many great people on it. Everyone from Don Byron to John Scofield, Bob James, Joe Lovano. And it's just their way of paying tribute to the great Keith Jarrett. And to my Andy Summers, Chucho Valdez, and Bruce Hornsby is on here, and he really plays very well. So this is definitely something that I like here. As Long As You're Living, the music of Keith Jarrett. And I'm going to show these at the same time. These are 2 compilations, 2 CD compilations that I have, and I'm thinking of Carm again when I see this. This is called Ocean Drive, and this is Take a Journey to the Heart of Smooth Jazz, and it has like, I don't know, Dave Grusin, Larry Carlton, Incognito, the Rippingtons. This is a 2 CD set. You can see that one right there and stuff. And this is the other one. This is Pacific Coast Highway, and it's that kind of music. It's driving down the highway, putting this on. There's so many great people on here. Everyone from Boney James to, I don't know, I can go on and on, to the Rippingtons are on here. And it's a nice 2 CD set. I really like it. Yeah. See? Okay. So guys, there you have it. I hope you got some good picks out of that. So leave me some comments, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace, VC. Love you.